So I think it's time to start. Thank you so much for joining us in this small session on textiles, fibers, and art. And we'll start with Boris Llamas with a very interesting topic called Tz'utujil, woman of San Juan La Laguna, Sololá, guardians of the ancient Mayan knowledge and practices of the vanishing uses of natural dyes in Guatemala. So go ahead, Boris.
Thank you. So today in the Maya calendar is 3 Emosh, and Emosh represents the strength of our minds, the union of our ideas, and the fruits of cooperation. This project was part of my internship I did last year with the Biocultural Collection of the Missouri Botanical Garden. So to start, natural dyes have played an important role in humanity, science prehistory, going through the ancient civilizations such as the Maya. Natural dyes has allowed us to represent our ideas and the environment with colors. In Mesoamerica, there is a map where you can see the people and the culture has interacted with the biodiversity present there. And because of the richness of the biodiversity, the people has produced different colors, and we can see that through history with this remaining cultural material that the Maya civilization left, like these murals with this really bright blue that is very distinctive to the Maya civilization. And this blue is made from this plant called Justicia piscígera that produce different tones of blue. And we can also see it in codex, like the Madrid Codex, and we can see remains of the blue. And these were a really important book for the Maya. And in different indigenous communities around the world, natural dyes have played an important role to produce their custom, and nowadays it's beginning to re-evaluate its importance because they are beautiful. They don't produce harmless to the people that manage these materials, and has give income to diversity of families in different parts of the world. So my research objectives were document the knowledge and practice of the uses of natural dyes of craftswomen from San Juan La Laguna, describe the botanical species used to produce natural dyes for biocultural artifacts, and in Tier 1 introduce biocultural artifacts to the Biocultural Collection of MOBOT to present knowledge and practices of the natural dyes from Guatemala. So my area of study was San Juan La Laguna. San Juan La Laguna is located in the western highlands of Guatemala and in the south shore of the lake Atitlan, and is home of the Maya people Tz'utujil, and is a place full of mountains, of forests, of trees, and the people there is connected, and they represent their culture with different elements from nature. So the methodology of my work, or collective work. First, I did a literature review of dye plants in Guatemala. This to help me to write a semi-instructor interview. The second step was the invitation and consent to do this work with the women, and also to present their names and their faces in all the process of this work, because what I wanted to do is to give authorship of this work, because I'm here just presenting. I did a participatory observation of traditional dyeing process on artifact collection, and here I also documented with photography. And fourth, the identification and collection of cultural specimens and digitation of this data. And the last step was the data archiving at the Missouri database, tropicos.org, that you can visit. And the results. Okay, so 14 participants assisted these interviews. All were Tz'utujil women. this woman came from 5 different associations, and 2 were independent. And we they demonstrate me 5 different plants in the collective process, and I received 1 cancellation. So here are the names, where the name of the association and the years of activity. Almost all the year, all their lives has been doing this craft. So and the plants. So I did the first day. I did a plant demonstration with Amalia Tai, with Pizza Orellana. The second day with Aislinn, Candelaria, Teresa from Asociación Quemó, with Senecio Salginus to give a yellow color. The third with Elena Perez, Maria Mendoza, Marcela Hernandez, Irma Stamer. We work with Persa Americana, Avocado, and Hematoxylum campechanum to give a this purple color. And the fourth, I work with Paula Temo and Noemi Coche. They were independent. We work with Fruta graviolens to give a green color, and she is working with other plant that gives this purple color. And the last day, I work with Ana Hernandez, Antonia Hernandez, Karen Mendoza from Bax Textiles to work with Tagetes Lucia to give this like mustard color. And these are the different plants: Vix Orellana, Senecio Salginus, Persa Americana, Hematoxylum campechanum, Tagetes lucida, Ruta graviolens. So the interview information. We could gather 22 plants and 1 insect registered by the interviews. These were distributed in 19 plant families. The most frequent family was Asteraceae, Fabaceae, and Malvaceae. With all these plants, we collected more than 18 colors. 68% of the plants were native, 22 were introduced, and the parts used from the plants were mostly leaves and barks. And these you can see the different kind of plants and the little insect in a cactus. So the process for the extraction of natural dyes, this we can gather like to summarize in plant preparation, thread dyeing, and mordant to fix the color in the thread. And then they use it to do the textiles. They winder and warper to arrange the thread. Then they do a weaving by backstroke loom, and they design different textiles with different figures. And the last, all the data was uploaded to the Tropicos page to enable information to share artifacts to others. And if you want to search it, you can put my name in the senior collection, and you can see all the different plants that we work with. And you can also search the plant, and in the section of ethnobotany, you can see the information. So the discussion and conclusions. So like this leaf that is repaired with different threads, the discussion has different perspectives. So one is that one plant has different and many shades and colors. And one plant has also different uses, from medicinal to edible to construction. So they really know how to use a plant and take advantage to the plant. So like if with this erythrina tree, you can use the leaves to produce a green color, a blue color, the bark to produce a brown. And if you mix the both, you can get a yellow greenish color. And this changes in different parts of the plant, the phenology, the ontogeny. Also, this can change with the environment, like these 2 plants. These Justicias bisigera and Hematoxylum, they give these natural colors when you harvest in any kind of moon. But in full moon, you get this different type of color, a blue-gray color in Justicia and a dark blue color in Nematoxylium. And this is really attached with the Maya culture, that they are really connected with the environment. At the end, these textiles represent like, they are poems, they are books that the women write with thread, and they represent their environment. This diamond shape represent the jars where they carry water, and the zigzag shape represent the waves of the lake. So to finalize this was a small project that the main idea was to valorize and to show to others their art, their science, and how it's important to them, because this gives to the woman empowerment, independence, income, and is part of their culture. They reproduce their culture with this wonderful costume. So to end, I want to acknowledge each of the women that participated in the interviews for giving me the opportunity to open their houses, their minds. And I want to thank also the team of the Biocultural Collection of the Missouri Botanical Garden and the National Endowment for Humanities to build bridges within the global north with the global south, and to create an ecology or epistemic system like this ceiba tree that is sacred to the Mayas, that is a bridge within the sky and the earth. So if you want to contact them, you can find them in their social media. You can call them or send an email. They will be really more interested to hear from you. And if you want to read more about, you can scan the barcode, and this is my contact. So thank you for everyone.
Thank you, Boris. That was a wonderful talk. Actually, we have 5 minutes for questions, and even 10. So okay. I would encourage many questions, and also if you have something else that you can show in those books, now people were excited.
Yeah. Okay.
So please go ahead.
Hey, you. Yeah, first.
Hi. I'm a fiber crafter, so this is very interesting for me. So what happened in the question? Within the dyeing, spinning, and all of these crafts, what's more important is the technique that they use, because many dyes can be extracted from many plants, but how you do it, the process of extraction is something that's less tangible and less documented in literature, because we concentrate on taxonomy, we concentrate on lists. But the techniques are much harder to capture, and they matter a lot. You may have, beautiful plant, but you may not get the right color because your technique is faulty. That's one part. What more than cited they use?
What again?
What more than they use?
They use stem of planting to fix the color. Yeah. Plantain or banana tree, the stem.
But I mean, are they extracting?
They chop the stem, and they chop it in little pieces, and then, well, each woman has their own technique, and this is that I couldn't like systematize like a process, because each woman has their own like way of extracting the colors. So it depends from the plant, from the woman. So they use one woman boil the plant with the banana stem, and then they put the thread. Other, they dye the thread, and then they put they clean the thread, putting the thread in water with banana stem. So it changes from different women, but it's basically like putting the thread on water with banana stems to as more than boiling or not boiling. Yeah, yes.
This change of color at the full moon.
I wonder, do you know how precisely at the full moon, is it a few days each way or must it be that night? And are you sure that there's no other differences like maybe gathering at a night instead of gathering in the day or processing it differently? And has anyone explored exactly what the parameters are?
Yeah, we didn't saw like the parameters like after or before the full moon, but they told me that in the exactly night of full moon, they harvest the plant, and then the next day they prepare it to have this color. And I think is should be like the exact full moon to have this color, because they really pay attention of that the moon is like really full, that it's really moderate, they say, to harvest. So yeah, it will be nice to like to study how the color changes when the full moon is getting. It will be really interesting to see this changes.
But I guess the question is, do they harvest the other ones during the day?
The other ones, yeah,
Sunlight.
yeah. The other plants they harvest on day, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you find that any people used one plant for multiple different colors, like maybe use the leaves for a color, the bark, the roots? Got
Yeah.
multiple colors from one plant?
Yeah, like the erythrina tree. So the leaves gives you this like mint color, and the bark gives you this brown. If you mix it, it gives you this greenish yellow color, and so on. And it's not only these three; it's also all different plants. And they have told me that if you put like some drops of lime, the color also intensifies or get weaker. And yeah, also it depends in the time when you boil the plant. So it is really hard to systematize and to think like a factory, like with standards. It's like an art. They play with the plants, with the colors. They don't think in like in a box. And this is like a science, and it's an art that is evolving each day. They are playing when they go to the forest. They see a new plant. They see that when they pass through the plant color, they white shear, and they, oh, this is a new color, we should take it. So it's hard to think like a factory. They don't think like that. It's a way of living to connect with the nature. So yeah, anyone over there has a question?
No, I just wanted to comment on the use of Musa. I think it's a potassium factor. I mean, this is in response to the
Yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting. You know, it's little explored. We don't know why. You know, but people think that it's potassium in banana leaves. You know, that is doing the more than whatever factor is.
Okay. So yeah, here with the photo, here is the mint color, and this is the brown from the same plant. If you want to see it afterwards, I can show you.
Is that sheep's wool? Are they using for?
No, this is all cotton. All cotton. And this is the plant that produces this bright blue color on any moon. Well,
Local cotton, or is it?
yeah, it's local cotton, they produce it. And also this is when it's full moon, they produce this greenish blue color. And yeah, this also is from this same tree that also produce a yellow bright color. So one plant can produce like different colors. And yeah, you can change it from the ontogeny phenology, how they to boil it, and how time they let it there. So yeah, it's very complex to get a ton shape. Yeah.
Some of this is actually documented in the dyeing section of San Juan's drawing codex. So you might want to look at this.
Yeah.
Changes, shades.
Yeah. And now, I didn't want to like really present like the amounts, because I want also to give them like their take techniques, not like someone just see it and then reproduce in other, and they don't give credit to them. So that was also part of just to show like a tiny piece.